Hello there everyone, Robert here, and I'm back with another video. And in this particular video, I actually want to showcase 3 new input elements that were added into Wix Studio. 2 of them are actually input elements, so you can actually use that when you're collecting information from your users for your own custom forms. Maybe that's something that you want to collect to be able to showcase on the site, just have that information on hand depending on your business or the business that you're working on for potential clients. And the other one is a social sharing element, so that way users and site visitors can share this on their own respective social media platforms. So with that, let's just go ahead and we'll dive right in. I'll showcase how you can add these to your website, and then also just showcase some of the settings and some of the things you can do with it. As always, any feedback, definitely feel free to reply to the video, reach out to me wherever I'm posting this, and let me know, and I'll be happy to share that feedback to the team. But yeah, let's get started. So actually, I'm on here already, and we can see I already have these elements added. So spoiler alert, but the elements are a slider, input element, and a shipping address slider, which also another spoiler, actually does include the option to autocomplete an address. I'll showcase how you do that here and what that looks like when we preview it. And the other one on the right hand side is a social share button element. So this one actually allows site visitors to be able to either choose the home page or the current page that they're on. You can choose the settings on your end, but that way they can share it on their own respective social media platforms. So for these 2 elements, and it is 2, I just have 2 instances of the slider because I want to showcase the difference with one of the settings. And for the shipping address as well, that does need to have the CMS enabled because these are input elements. So these are being used to collect information from users and site visitors. But if once you do have the CMS enabled, these will be under the input element. If you're not seeing the input element, it's probably because you don't have the CMS enabled. But we can see the address input is actually here under user input. And again, we'll see it highlighted here. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see right here within the address input, there's a few different options. And if we scroll down a little bit further, we can also see the slider. Again, a few different looks to it. But then you can just, as normal, click on these or drag them into the canvas to be able to add it. And I'm not going to go through the connection elements, but I do want to showcase how these look and how these work and some of the settings that you can do. So for the slider, if we come here into the settings, we can see you can decide whether it's a continuous slider or a step slider. You can choose whether it's like number of steps or there's a value specifically. Now, number of steps, I'll leave it here just so we can kind of see what this looks like on preview. But in this case, I'm going with the default 5 and the number starting from 1 to 1000. You can choose the default value as well. For the layout, you can control the indentation, the space between the slider and the title, the handle shapes, handle size, the track height, the handle alignments. Since this one is stepped, we can choose whether there's steps and how they're showcased. We can also show the value label. So that 500 that's highlighted right now, we can decide, is this always visible? Does it only show on hover? This one's a nice little quality of life update too, or just a feature that's on here about being able to choose the position type, whether we want it on the top or the bottom. Again, I did that here for the continuous because if I put top, it kind of overlaps with the elements up here. So it is nice that we have that directly, and you can choose prefixes and suffix if you like. So that's it. The continuous one, I'm actually going to leave it as such and not go into that one. It is basically the same settings, but you can just choose whether you want it to be stepped or continuous. Now, the shipping address, there's not as many features for this one in particular, but what is nice, as I mentioned before, if we come down here, you can see that it actually does it automatically just auto completes the addresses, and you can choose whether it does so for all countries or just one particular country. And then from there, there's a drop down here, so you can choose which country in particular you want. The rest of it is kind of standard fare of choosing the field title, the initial text, the placeholder text, whether it's required or it's read-only. So nothing like too particularly crazy there in terms of the settings, just kind of choosing the spacing and the indentations, whether there's a location icon, dividers. So all of that I'll leave as default, but definitely feel free to go in, check it out, and customize it as you see fit. Now for the last one, the share buttons, we'll actually see these. This doesn't require you to add anything in particular to be able to access these. This one will actually be able to see through the embed and share. So let me navigate there now. And again, if we come here to embed and social, we can see it's actually right underneath here, the social bars. If you're not seeing it, you might need to scroll down slightly, or again, you can click it should direct you there. So the difference with these social bars is that would be your social media platforms showcased on the website. You just click on that, it takes you to your own social media. And for the share buttons, this will allow users to showcase either your homepage or the current page that they're on. Again, we can choose the settings and post that on their own social media platforms. So I do want to showcase you can't manage the share buttons. At the moment, it doesn't seem you can add social media platforms. I guess because this is something that's kind of on the back end, it does require a little bit more work. So if you do want to see any, definitely let me know. Be happy to post that on there. But again, we do have for Facebook, X/Twitter, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Pinterest, copy and link. I think with these being the most popular social media platforms, especially in terms of engagement, that they're kind of the ones that are there. But again, you can always copy the link and then use that to share it anywhere else. But if there is any you want to see, again, let me know. So you can replace the icons. You can edit the text if maybe, I guess maybe you don't want to say X Twitter, or you can hide it if this is a platform that maybe you're not particularly interested in to highlight and showcase. Now, in terms of settings, very similar as well. We can just kind of choose whether we want the homepage or the current page. And nice bonus on this, it actually does work on dynamic pages. So specific store pages, it'll actually reference the actual store page. If you have your own dynamically built out pages using the CMS, it'll actually locate those as well and very specifically choose those. So yeah, with that, let's preview it so we can look what all the features look like. All right, so we're here, and now that the preview has kind of loaded up, again, we can see here on the stepped price, kind of how this one works. So we can see again that it goes from 1 to 280 cents to 460 cents, 640, 800. So basically what's happening is this is increasing from 1 to 1,000 in increments of 5, whereas a continuous step, and again, I can kind of then just choose wherever. So I can actually be, okay, I want it to be 237.40. I can be very specific with where I want this to be. So that's kind of the difference with the two of them. Again, you can also do inset increments. So if you do want it to go every 5, you can, again, feel free to check out the settings and see maybe what works best for you. Now, in terms of the shipping address, we can just kind of see it the second you start typing. It already starts filling out. So I always like using 123 Fake Lane in Orangeburg, California, USA 29118. Oh, South Carolina, actually. But again, you can see that it actually pulls out a bunch of other different countries too. So very good, especially to avoid errors and when your users are submitting their information. A very nice feature here to be able to have, as opposed to manually them inputting the information. And just let me just click on these so we can load this up. It's kind of funny, it's going to load up right now the editor probably to be able to share. We can see here it's linking up to my Facebook that I have here for testing, and loading up the link with the social share information. I can do it for X, I can do it for WhatsApp. We can kind of see down here at the very bottom, it's linked with all that information to be able to share. And again, if not, I can just copy the link, it's set up here, and I have the direct link as well. But yeah, those are the 3 features, hopefully giving enough information for you guys to be able to know how to add them, the uses possibly for them. And yeah, if any questions, as always, let me know. Myself or Jesse, we're more than happy to help. Roll back any feedback, any updates. If you notice anything that's a little strange, definitely let us know. Keep us posted. But thanks everyone, and bye for now.